Hi, welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, for now, the SGX Nifty is largely flat. It's down about 0.1%. So indicating that a pause perhaps could be on the cards, but plenty of stocks to talk about. So let's go straight to that. Our entire research team is waiting by. So Anuj, first to you, what would be the stocks to look at today?
Well, Sonia, keep an eye on Hindustan Unilever. Like I mentioned yesterday, the con call yesterday was more important than the results con call. I think Mangalam will give us more details, but positioning wise as well, it's showing similar trend as what Britannia did, which is correction post results, but now has moved to 20-day moving average. So it will be interesting to see. I think today's move on lever would be important because it's at a very important junction as well, where 50 and the 200-day moving average are also meeting. So in that case, it's important for lever to not fall today or rally today, because if it falls, then that would be bearish. But if it rallies, then that would negate a very bit of a bearish pattern. So I'll watch out for Hindustan Unilever, and a stock that's something that I've been keeping on my radar for last 3-4 months and has consistently come on my top 10. Aurobindo Pharma, what a remarkable stock. And again, leader of the leading pack yesterday as well, a fresh breakout. So that's something to keep an eye on. Of course, all of this is contingent on the fact that today there could be volatility, but if there's risk on in the second half, perhaps the banking stocks will do well.
Okay. All right. We don't have too much of banking stocks in the news today, but clearly the newsmaker today is L&T underperformer of the week, of the month, of the year. What are the results saying, Sonia?
Well, the management doesn't mince any words, and in the press conference they did not give any guidance. They said it's too early to do that and it will take a couple of more quarters of normalcy to return. So I'm going with red today because even in the numbers, if you look at it, the order inflows fell 39% year on year. The operational performance was weaker than expected. There were no orders that came through in the power segment this time around, and even core infrastructure segment orders have fallen quite a bit. Even the core numbers, revenues down 28%, EBITDA down 47%. Margins have come in at 7.6%. Across the street, the expectation was between 8 to 9.5%. So margins are below street expectations, and profits have fallen almost 80-odd%. Like I said, management commentary, no guidance. They also said that they are back to 75% of labor situation compared to pre-COVID levels. So that is a positive. And they are adding about 1,500 to 1,600 laborers every day at different sites. A lot of brokerages continue to be positive on the stock because they believe that given such a challenging environment, this order inflow is not too bad. The expectation was 20,000 crores of orders. They've come in at 23,000 crores of orders this time. But I'm going with red on the stock today.
Okay, let's see how the market reacts. But for now, of course, a bit of a disappointment over there. But Sonal is tracking some more results for us. Sonal?
Well, I have some positive news, Anuj. Let me start with Rallis, where the numbers were better than Edelweiss estimates. The revenues were up around 6%. EBITDA was a big beat, up 36%. Margins at 19% versus expectation of 16%. And profits were also higher by 53%. The company says in the domestic markets itself, they saw a 26% growth led by price realizations and better price mix. Apart from that, we have Aztec Life Sciences, a turnaround that the company has seen. Revenues were up 45%, EBITDA up 310%, and profits were they reported a profit versus a loss last year. We have Balaji Telefunds, which reported Q4 numbers, which were not bad. Revenues up 21%, gross margins also improved, and losses have actually contracted. So loss at 20 crores versus loss 28 crores last year. So expect that stock to be in the green as well.
All right, lots of green stocks today. Thanks for that. Nigel has a couple of names. Within that, ICICI Securities stood out as a good performance. But Nigel, tell us, what are you watching today?
Well, let's look at Heidelberg Cement. First, those numbers look quite good when you have a decline of close to around 30% on the top line, and almost all of that is caused because of lower volumes. That tells you that realizations were up by close to around 2% on a year-on-year basis as well as on a sequential basis. And when you don't have operating leverage working in your favor, and yet your EBITDA per ton comes in at around 1,265 rupees, it goes down as a good performance. The profit number on expected lines did see a decline, but operationally these numbers look good. Valuation-wise as well, supported at around $80 per done. Remember, it has net cash of close to around 160 crores. So Heidelberg Cement opens up in the green. ICICI Securities, as you mentioned, yes, things look good out there. Revenues increased on a sequential basis by nearly around 14%. Profitability was up by nearly around 24% on a sequential basis. And also the gain market share, if you look at it on a year-on-year basis, both in the equity market trading as well as in the derivative market trading. And in fact, CLSA has gone ahead and increased the target price out there to 625 from 450. So both the stocks open up in the green. Back to you all.
It's good news, but all eyes will be on Hindustan Unilever, as Anuj said. An all-important con call yesterday. Mangalam, what were the key takeaways?
Well, Lata, you know, the key takeaway is the fact that Hindustan Unilever continues to make Horlicks stronger and taller. 4 things that really stood out in the conference call yesterday. The first one, management reiterated their guidance of double-digit growth for their health food drinks business in the medium term, which is Horlicks. So that's a positive. The second one, they were also confident of driving premiumization in this vertical. So that's a positive. The third one, despite lockdown, despite the operational challenges, they've come out with newer variants. They've come out with one variant of zinc added in Horlicks and the other one affordable lower pack, something that Hindustan Unilever does well with the brands that it owns. And final, most important one was the fact that they increased their guidance in terms of synergy benefits from 1,000 basis points to 1,300 basis points. So at that level, if you can show growth and improving margins, the street should read that positively.
Okay, yes, and as a father of 2 young kids, and I can tell you that the amount of money that I've spent on Horlicks, and it's just such a high margin product. This deal with GSK could be a bit of a game changer for Hindustan Unilever going forward as well. But let's go across to Sonal for some more details that we have on Alembic Pharma. Sonal?
Oh, absolutely, Anuj. The numbers were really good, but the con call takeaways are also very positive. The company expects to double US sales in next 3 years. They also plan to raise equity to expand their generics portfolio and the facilities. They expect US business sales at $70 million per quarter. Even in the API business, where they say saw 53% growth in this quarter, they see around 15 to 20% growth by end of this FY. In terms of the brokerage report, Axis Cap has raised the EPS estimates. They've also increased the target price to 1,000 versus 875 earlier. So I expect that stock to be in the green today. Also watching out for Glenmark, because while DCGI has asked for clarification on effectiveness of favipiravir, they have issued trial 3 results, the phase 3 results, which are quite positive. They saw improvements with 28.6% faster viral clearances, and they also said 69.8% of patients in the favipiravir treatment achieved clinical cure by day 4. So that is some positive data coming in. Expect Glenmark also to do well in trade today.
Okay, but this is kind of a news that's been discounted, that their favipiravir will bring them some money. So I don't know. Let's wait and see. If it is a pharma day, then I guess Glenmark is to the fore. But there are a bunch of other stocks that have made announcements to the exchange. Rima has that list.
Thanks, Lata. Let me start with Vodafone Idea, where the Supreme Court has granted the tax refund case in favor of Vodafone Idea. So the company will immediately get a refund of 833 crores. Comes as a big relief to the cash-strapped telco. Concor has said that they will be reorganizing their administrative setup. So from 2 layers, it will now be a single layer. So I guess it will help in cutting some costs and bringing in some efficiency. India Mart was one of the big gainers yesterday. It rallied 5% on the back of a big spurt in margins. There was a conference call yesterday where the company said that they acted as the biggest supplier of medical products like face masks, face shields, sanitizers, etc. And therefore, the buyers' traffic was at an all-time high. It went up 22% on a year-on-year basis. Let me run you through some stocks which could be under pressure. Future Retail has said that they, on account of liquidity constraints, they have missed interest payment on some of the notes which were issued in Singapore. But as per the notes, they have a 30-day grace period to still make that repayment. eClerx, remember 2 weeks ago, had announced a 105 crore buyback. That has now been completed. So the company has bought back shares at an average price of 523. So if there was any support to the stock price on account of buyback, that will now be out of the way. And Sumera tells us that there is a report which suggests that CARE has downgraded debt worth 106 crore, which is issued by Morgan Credits. And according to a Mint report, 4 schemes of Nippon India Mutual Fund have exposure to the debt of Morgan Credits. But CNBC TV18 has not independently verified that news. Back to you. Okay, Rima, thanks a lot for that. So that's a lowdown on a lot of stocks. But in the commodity space, no surprises for guessing which commodity is rallying. It is gold once again. But Manisha Gupta is here to give us a lowdown on all that's happening there. Hi, Manisha. Morning.
Morning, Sonia. Thank you for that. Well, I want to start with the crude oil prices because we started with a bit of a decline, but we are now hitting new 4-month highs. So $44.50 for Brent and $42 for the U.S. crude prices is where we are trading. The rebound really comes in as the safe haven dollar index has continued to decline below 95 now. We did see pressure because the U.S. crude inventories were surging. We've seen demand decline in the previous week, and there are some OPEC members which are producing more than the quota. But all of that is something that the markets have shrugged off. So new 4-month highs on your screens in crude. Well, yes, when it comes to the precious metals, gold is at a new 9-year highs, $1,870 per ounce on that. Silver is trading at a new 7-year highs. We are up 17% for silver in this week itself. And the base metal prices also seem to be taking some support from decline in US dollar. So whether it is copper, nickel, aluminum, these metals have started Shanghai in the positive.
Manisha, the prevailing all-time high for gold in dollar terms is 1925, is it?
1921, Lata. So 1870 is where we are. So $50 away.
Hairbreadth away. All right. Thanks a lot for that. Some celebration will be called for by the gold bulls. We'll take a break on that note, and then we're going to be joined by an expert, Pankaj Murarka, founder, Renaissance Investment Managers, to tell us, to analyze some of the stock news that has come over the past few days. We will also have Abhineet Anand, the lead analyst, Power and Capital Goods at SBI Cap Securities, to tell us what he made of the L&T numbers.